Okay, week 5, lesson 1. I'm going to show you a couple of really common chord riffs, basically. And in this situation, I'm going to start with an A chord. I'm going to bar this chord. This is usually the way I end up playing an A chord when I'm down here. I don't usually do the finger thing. I'm usually doing it this way, and most rock players do. You probably do too. All right? But I want you to think of this as a common chord progression. You may know some songs that do this thing I'm about to show you, but I don't want you to think of them like those songs. I want you to think of it as a common move that's used in a lot of songs. And basically I'm talking about taking the A chord, then just reaching over with your second finger and hitting that G note, and coming back to the A chord in some form, with some sort of rhythm. It's just very, very common. How about this one? Okay? Kind of a Edward style thing. Okay? It's dumbed down a little bit, but it's just a very common riff. How about this? Okay, I'm just starting with the G and cranking away on that A chord, just kind of going back and forth between the A chord and that G note. It's used in a lot of songs with varying rhythms, different things, but I want you to see that as a common chord progression, not a specific song, okay? This is sort of the way I want you to think of the guitar as a whole. I want to teach you how a lot of things that you may have learned in a certain song are actually a very common chord progression, riff, scale move, whatever, that aren't just that song. So I want you to open your mind to seeing these things as building blocks. Okay? Alright, exercise 2. Again, I'm going to use that A chord as my starting point, but the next thing that I want to show you, I'm putting those two fingers down, I'm playing A, and then the next chord is what we call D over F sharp. Think of it this way. If I were to add the pinky to that, we have a C-shaped chord here, and this particular location for that would be a D chord. Here's my D root note. Here's another D root note. But I don't need the pinky. That would make it harder, actually. I just need these two, and I want to get used to going back and forth like that. How about this? Sort of kind of bluesy kind of thing. But just get used to going back and forth between those two. Okay, and this shape, when I do that, those two fingers here, this thing can slide around, so could the A bar, as a matter of fact. Okay, I can slide that bar around. Well, I can put those two fingers down and slide that around as well. And you've heard this done like this. Okay, pretty common song. We won't go there. All right? That little shape, that little thing, comes into play in a lot of songs. The A shape and then that thing. You want to get used to that. You want to get used to playing it all over the neck. All right? There we go.